Stewart-Haas Racing was one of the most dominant NASCAR Cup Series teams in the 2010 after Tony Stewart bought into a struggling Haas CNC Racing. But in 2020, SHR was so close to winning their third championship with Kevin Harvick, but came up short. By 2024, SHR would be closing down at the end of this season. What caused the downfall of SHR?
Gene Haas's team experienced a miserable season in 2008. The biggest setback was an illegal wing rear mounts, which caused both teams to be penalized 150 points, crew chiefs to be suspended for 2 races, and those crew chiefs being fined $100,000 in May. Both cars did not qualify at least once, and with the number 70 car being outside the top 35 in points at the end of the season, which guaranteed a spot in the field. On July 10, 2008, Stewart announced that he bought a stake in Haas CNC as a co-owner and driver. That partnership has created one of the most successful teams in the 2010s, with 2 championships, 69 wins, and almost 700 top 10s as a team since 2009. The wheels started falling off at the end of 2020. Harvick, the cornerstone driver after Stewart's retirement, had an amazing season as he led in wins, laps led, top 5s and 10s, and average finishing position. Harvick breezed through the first 2 rounds with his amount of playoff points. At Texas Motor Speedway, the second race in the round of 8, Harvick had a difficult day with the number 4 car, hitting the wall and losing a lap making repairs. Harvick salvaged a 16th place finish and left Texas with a 42-point cushion above the cut line, with Chase Elliott and Joey Logano securing spots into the Championship 4 via wins. There were only 2 spots left to get in on points. The cutoff race at Martinsville Speedway proved tough for Harvick, as he had a flat tire which caused him to stop under green and lose a lap. With less than 100 laps to go, Harvick finally got back on the lead lap. Harvick worked his way up to 10th, but was still 1 point outside of advancing. In desperation, Harvick tried to door Kyle Busch on the final lap, but spun himself out, knocking Harvick out of the Championship 4. Harvick blamed the system more than himself on why he failed to make the Championship 4 after Martinsville.
That I had to try to, knowing that I needed 1 point, and I needed to hit him, square in the door, but at that point I was too late and wound up hitting him in the back. So just a Hail Mary that didn't work out. Like I said earlier, I mean, they aren't won the same way that Earnhardt and Petty did. You have to, put together a few weeks, and we didn't put together these last few weeks like we needed to, and just came up short.
2021 was a setback for Harvick, as even though he made the playoffs, he was winless for the first time since 2009. With the lack of playoff points, Harvick was on the bubble trying to advance to the round of 8. At the cutoff race at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval, Harvick crashed out late in Turn 1, causing him to miss the next round of the playoffs. The other SHR cars performed poorly as well in 2021. Even though Eric Almirola won at New Hampshire Motor Speedway and locked himself into the playoffs, the 3 other Stewart-Haas Racing drivers earned a combined 10 top 10 finishes between themselves. Stewart's attention started to shift elsewhere. The Stewart-owned Eldora Speedway was not re-upped for the 2021 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series season, as the race was canceled during the 2020 season due to COVID-19. The Superstar Racing Experience, better known as SRX, was co-founded in 2021 with Stewart and Ray Evernham. Stewart raced in that series from 2021 to its last current full season in 2023. Stewart got engaged to Leah Pruitt in the spring of 2021 and married in December. During that time, Stewart started his own team in NHRA, with Pruitt being a driver. Except for Chase Briscoe, most of 2022 was a step in the wrong direction. 2020 Rookie of the Year, Cole Custer, was on the hot seat as he scored 3 top 10 finishes that year. Haas and Stewart disagreed on who should drive the number 41 car. Haas wanted Custer still in the car, while Stewart wanted Ryan Preece to drive. In the end, Stewart got his way as he announced that Preece would drive the number 41 car next season, with Custer going back down to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Stewart-Haas Racing's bright spot continued to be Harvick, but the number 4 team was not a top contender anymore. Harvick won 2 races late in the regular season, yet was knocked out of the playoffs in the first round. It was a career low in laps led in a season since Harvick joined the team. Almirola started the season strong with 3 finishes of 6 or better in the first 3 races. Almirola struggled in the latter half of the season, though, dropping down all the way to 20th in the points. Almirola originally announced on January 10th, 2022 that he would retire at the end of the 2022 season. By August, Almirola announced at Daytona International Speedway that he signed a multi-year deal to drive for Stewart-Haas Racing again. Almirola's sponsor, Smithfield, wanted Almirola to stay with the team.
Here to announce that I'll be back. I know that doesn't come as a surprise to many of you, but yeah, just put a lot of thought and a lot of discussing it with Janice and the kids, and ultimately, the subject continued to get broached from the race team and Smithfield, and through all of that dialogue, mainly with the race team and with Smithfield, it was very evident that not only did they want me back, but that Smithfield wanted to increase their marketing campaign around NASCAR and around me. And so they have decided to come back for a multi-year agreement, which is incredible. Just the amount of just support that they have given to me and my family throughout the career is humbling. And so when Shane Smith called me, the CEO of Smithfield, and said, "Hey, we really want you to reconsider retiring. We want you to come back and drive our race car," it was really, really hard to say no. I did tell him, let me talk to Janice and let me think about it, let me pray about it. And we did, and there was a lot of back and forth discussion, but ultimately it just feels right. And I told you guys all, down here at the beginning of the year, that I was retiring and that it was for, a family decision. And this is still very much a family decision. Janice and the kids and I talked a lot about it, and I think the person that probably has the most sacrifice involved is Janice, but the kids were ecstatic that they get to still come and be with their friends, and there is a community that is involved and associated with what we do.
In 2022, after a season of penalties involving an L2 penalty to Harvick and race manipulation for Custer, Stewart was so fed up with NASCAR that he did not want to talk about the issue, and rather he focused on NHRA. Stewart even tweeted, "Looking for a new weekend hobby, something not Southeastern based. If anyone has ideas, something low drama and relaxing preferably." With Stewart starting to lose interest in the sport, there was going to be some big changes on the horizon. 2023 was going to be the year of transition, as Harvick announced that 2023 would be his last full-time season. When Stewart was asked about Harvick's retirement, he said,
"I think what people don't realize is how good of a leader he really is. And I've said this in media sessions numerous times. I mean, Kevin Harvick's probably the most well-rounded driver out there, from the aspect that obviously he's a great race car driver, but he knows how to build championship-winning teams and putting the right people in place. He understands the business side of it. He understands the marketing side of it. I would challenge anybody to find somebody in the series as a driver that can do all those aspects as well as Kevin does."
While Harvick was certain that he was going to retire, uncertainty continued to shroud the number 10 team. Rumors swirled that Michael McDowell would replace Almirola, and Smithfield would stay on the car as a sponsor, but those plans fell apart. Almirola confirmed in October that he would not return to the number 10 car. Smithfield announced the next day that he would no longer continue its sponsorship in NASCAR. Sponsorship holes were starting to fill up, and rumors of consolidation of charters started to pop up. When asked if he would sell the charters at the end of 2023, Stewart deflected the question to talk about Custer winning the championship.
Why are we talking about this on Saturday night when this guy just won a championship?
For 2024, SHR had Josh Berry and Noah Gragson replace Harvick and Almirola. With the retirement of Harvick, Stewart-Haas rebranded its identity as Racers. When SHR released a video, the first sentence was trying to shut down that SHR was in trouble.
If there's one thing I've learned in my career, it's that the doubters are always the loudest from the outside.
When news started leaking of Stewart-Haas Racing looking to sell everything, its drivers tried to drown out the noise and focus on the short-term issues of the weekend, saying this.
I mean, we all read it on the internet over and over again, right? I mean, obviously, where there's smoke, there's fire. All we can just go out and do is just try to do our best each and every week. And really, all of us, we can all talk about pressure and different things, but the reality of it is that we're all trying to do the best we can each and every day, right? And sometimes it works out and sometimes it don't.
Trying to stick to what we know and work hard and prepare for each and every weekend and not let the outside noise distract us. There's obviously a lot of that going on right now, but I feel like if we can keep on doing our job as a group, there should hopefully be opportunity for us. So with that being said, I'm so thankful and grateful for the 10 team, our group of guys on this team. They work so hard, and I'm fortunate to be a part of it. So, we're not letting the outside noise distract us. We're just focused on the goal ahead and sticking to the plan and keeping our standards.
I feel like over the off season, the drivers probably spend more time together, and just everything this year has been better from a standpoint of just a team side of things. Not that we weren't a team before, but we're almost more 4 individual teams than just one organization, and now I feel like we're trying to really work more as one organization.
On May 28th, SHR announced that it would cease operations at the end of the year, which include its Cup and Xfinity Series programs. Briscoe at Worldwide Technology Raceway revealed a sad truth of a closing team.
I mean, we were talking this the other day, it might really be hard for us just to even get cars to the racetrack. If people are leaving, and it's not like you're going to get somebody to start coming to work there even on a short-term basis. I mean, once people leave, there's nobody coming back. So, we already do it on way less people than the other 4-car teams. So it is kind of scary just knowing the position that we're in right now, being right there on the cut line and knowing that, all of our employees essentially are taking job interviews at other places, and if those people want them to start, there's nothing saying that they can't just go start working there. So it's going to be difficult.
Questions remain about Stewart and Haas about how much they're going to receive from the sale of their charters. But one thing is for certain, the value that they added to the sport has been priceless. Jared Haas with Frontstretch.com. Come back soon for more great racing videos. And if you like us, make sure to hit that subscribe button.